Well, tonight the results are rolling in for Ohio's May primary and special election, and we're here to bring you all the results. So good evening and thank you for joining us on this election evening. I'm Yolanda Harris.
And I'm Colin Dorsey. We have several crews spread out covering the races that you want to know about tonight. 10 TV political reporter Doug Petcash is covering issue 2 for us tonight, which was on every ballot statewide. 10
TV's Rochelle Aline is covering the Franklin Township fire levy, and 10 TV's Kevin Landers is focused on Liberty and Genoa Township's levies.
Now let's start with issue 2, and here are the results tonight. It passed with an overwhelming number of votes. 10 TV's Doug Petcash is here for us, breaking down what issue 2 is and how it will affect you going forward.
Yeah, Colin, you said an overwhelming victory. The AP projecting voters have renewed the state capital improvement program for another 10 years. It's been around for nearly 40 years. That means another $2.5 billion for local infrastructure projects. The state will have the authority to issue $250 million worth of bonds per year for 10 years. This is all for local municipalities across the state. The capital improvement projects can only be for roads and bridges, wastewater treatment systems, water supply systems, solid waste disposal facilities, as well as stormwater and sanitary treatment facilities. State leaders tell me this will not raise taxes. The program was created back in 1987. Voters have now renewed it for the 4th time since then. So the state capital improvement program will now continue from 2027 through 2036. And through the program, municipalities apply for low-interest loans and grants. Yolanda?
All right, thank you, Doug. Now, we just received a statement from the Strong Ohio Communities Coalition that supported this measure, and it says in part, quote, "We wish to thank Ohio voters for renewing the state capital improvement program with today's yes vote, and we appreciate the Ohio General Assembly placing issue 2 on the May ballot."
Well, another big issue that passed tonight is the emergency school levy for Marysville. It passed with more than 61% of the vote. That means the 30 teachers who lost their jobs will get those positions back, and no other positions will be cut. And also, for the second time in 7 months, the fire and EMS levy in Franklin Township has failed, with 53% of voters saying no. In November, it failed by 130 votes, but tonight it failed by less than 40. 10 TV's Rochelle Aline has reaction from the results from the township.
I mean, you can feel the sense of disappointment tonight in Franklin Township for those who were looking to see this levy pass. We spoke to a trustee on the Board of Trustees for Franklin Township. He says he's disappointed, but he respects what the voters had to say. That said, he said there are going to be some important conversations that have to be had starting tomorrow when it comes to potential layoffs and the closing of at least one of their 2 fire stations here.
The board's going to have to get with the chief and see which house do we want to close, which one makes more sense. I'm sure Columbus is going to be sitting down with us. I'm sure they are looking at it the same as we are, so close. I really would have liked to have seen this pass for the residents, for just the safety aspect of having a firehouse on each end of the township.
And to hear more about what that trustee had to say when it comes to how this will impact response times, you can head to our website, 10tv.com. In Franklin Township, Rochelle Aline, 10 TV News.
All right, thank you, Rochelle. Now, in Delaware County tonight, we're tracking 2 levies. Liberty Township passed its levy for the fire department, and we have just called the levy for Genoa Township's levy to pass as well. 10 TV's Kevin Landers is in Delaware County covering both levies.
A victory in fire levies for both Genoa Township and Liberty Township give both fire departments a clear financial path for the future. For Genoa Township, passage of the levy will allow them to maintain the status quo, but also plan for the future in terms of fire purchases. For Liberty Township, passage of the levy means that the fire department can plan to buy another ambulance and staff as its calls for service continue to grow as more people move to the Powell area. Residents in both townships will now pay more in property taxes depending on their home's value, but they also avoid delayed response times had each of the levies failed.
Less funding for the department would be a reduction in services and personnel.
So our calls right now are up to the point where 49% of the time when one of our ambulances leaves one of our stations, the other ambulance gets a call at the same time. So that leaves no ambulance here for transport.
Passage of the levies in both townships will cost residents a little more than $330 a year more in property taxes. Reporting from Genoa Township, Kevin Landers, 10 TV News.
All right, thank you, Kevin. Now let's take a look at the results for the Blendon Township levy. Now, it would have helped fund the police department there, and with 6 of 6 precincts reporting, that levy has failed. The police chief has said that if this levy failed tonight, the township may be forced to cut staffing by up to 40%.
And then in Groveport, there is a bond issue on the ballot for the school district, and these are the results tonight, and we can officially tell you it has failed. And the Taze Valley School District also had a bond issue on the ballot tonight, and the results also not showing good for the district. You can see that one failed by a wide margin, 68% of the electorate saying no. Less than it failed, though, back in November. That time it failed by 75%.
Now, we have all of your election results streaming right now on 10 TV Plus and on 10tv.com.